Zahriya, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us here at STAR today. We're so excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here.
This is exciting. So I have a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
Now, I know, because I stalked you a little bit. So I know that there was a time in your life before you were you're a worship leader.
Yes, I am.
And is that your home church? Like
Currently?
you do, yes.
Yes, I lead worship at my home church.
Okay. So so before you were even into like the music, there was a time in your life where God said like, hey, this is the thing that you're going to do, right? Can you just tell me a little bit about how that happened and what happened?
Well, originally I was going to be a lawyer.
Oh,
That's what I was going to be before I was a worship leader.
that's totally different.
Very different. I went to Texas Tech University and I got a bachelor's in philosophy.
Wow.
And I was going to go to law school. And then the Lord was like, hey, like, what if you did worship? And I was like, I don't understand. And basically in that moment, I was literally on my way to class.
Yeah.
And the Lord was like, I would love if you did worship. And I called my mom and I was like, I'm not going to law school. And I don't know how this is going to look. But I finished college and then just kind of was like, okay, Lord, like, what are we going to do?
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
So my question for you is like, how do you make that step to walking in the calling that God has set out for you?
Oh, man.
It's hard, right? Because sometimes God tells us to do something and we're like, maybe later.
100%. I think that wild faith has marked a lot of my journey with following what the Lord has said. And also, I think finding people that are like 20 years down the line from me.
Yeah.
And being like, am I crazy? Like, the Lord told me, am I crazy? And they're like, no, you're not crazy.
Wow.
Because a lot of, like, the Lord, he operates in different ways in all of our lives, but there is this continual thread because it's the same nature that it's tied back to. And so just like getting encouragement from those people helps so much with the
I love that.
overwhelming like unknowns that can happen.
Yeah.
And just being encouraged by like other people's stories that have been doing it for so much longer. I feel
That's
like
really
those
cool.
are the two things. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that's great advice too, because it's hard, especially like when you know that there's something that God has called you to do, but it's like totally opposite of anything you've ever dreamt of.
Yes.
So now that you've been doing like worship and Bethel and you have your own music coming out too.
Yes.
So how does that feel now that you've been walking in it?
Oh, man. I feel like it's felt really crazy and honestly a greater measure of dependence than I ever could have thought.
Wow.
From being at my local church to now like worship leading all around the world and like recording and doing things and people are actually like hearing it and like encountering the Lord. It feels wild because it's like a small yes turned into like what the Lord has birthed. And so it's been wild. I will say, like, I still haven't caught up most days. I'm like, how am I here from like leading at my local church in Lubbock, Texas, which if you've ever been to Lubbock, Texas, it's no man's land. It's just like, there's not a whole lot there. It's just a university and like, that's it.
Right.
And so the fact that like, that's where it all started, it's like, oh, only the Lord could have done any of that. So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So if you could give advice to your younger self, like dear younger me, what would you say?
Oh, what would I say? Just breathe and stop stressing out so much about all the little details that you want to put together and like making it work. Like it's all going to work out.
Yeah.
And also to just really like to know that you are enough, like right where you're at. I think if I could have told myself, my younger self, that like, you're enough right where you're at. You don't need any more than what you already have. So yeah, I think that's what I would say.
I love that. And that's like, I mean, I'm 33 and I'm like, yeah, I need to know that right now. You know? It's true. I don't think that ever goes away.
No.
Where you like that reminder, like, hey, you're enough and God made you enough.
Yes.
And so like, you don't have to be perfect.
No.
Yeah.
No. Perfection is not the marker of what Jesus uses. It never has been, and it never will be.
Thank God for that.
Literally, thank God.
So earlier you said that you're not a coffee drinker, and that was shocking to me.
I'm not.
So where do you get your energy from? Jesus.
Jesus, and I don't know. I'm a night owl.
Oh.
So like it's kind of like a crazy combination of not drinking coffee and then I also stay up super, super late.
Yeah.
I don't know where the energy comes from. I definitely around like 3 or 4 hit this like very low lull point where I'm like, I'm dying. I'm slowly dying. But I really don't know. I literally just stopped years ago.
Yeah.
And I worked at a coffee shop. So I think that also kind of played a part of like, I think I just got tired.
Yes.
Which is kind of crazy because most people actually become more addicted after that. But I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know actually like where my energy comes from. It's just
probably your energy builds as you go along the day if you're a night owl, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you might start off like groggy, but then you kind of like hit your peak.
Yep.
What is your peak, like 9 p.m.?
Yeah. Probably around 9, I'm like coming alive, and all of my friends are like, "I'm going to bed," and I'm
going to bed too.
Yeah, no, I'm like just getting started, and then midnight is like the apex of like, I'm here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Oh my goodness. I mean, I have a toddler, so I'm real tired.
I can't even imagine.
I gotta go to bed.
No,
it takes everything in me not to like go to bed at 7:30. I'm like, I can't be this person.
To go to bed when they go to bed. So that you're like, okay, at least we got the same amount of sleep. I'm alive. But then you're also like, I kind of want to watch a TV show.
Yeah. Just want to chill.
Yep.
Do you ever hit that like middle of the night where like you just want to clean everything?
Oh, 100%.
Like you're like, I'm going to organize everything right now.
And I start these like massive cleaning projects in the middle of the night. And then like 2, 3 a.m. rolls around and I'm like, I'm done. Whoa. That was crazy.
Yes. But you finished it.
Yeah, I finished it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like, I can't. And I go to bed.
there are some times where you don't finish it and you wake up the next morning and you're like, this is the decision that I have made.
Yes.
And
it was a poor one.
Yeah. And now I'm here. I can't imagine. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So now I have a hard question for you.
Okay.
What is your favorite line from a song? And like it could be a song, like you actually just did a song with Patrick Mayberry. So it could be like your song, it could be a Bethel song, could be like a duet. Is that what, wait, do we call it a duet?
Yeah, a duet. Yeah. That's
collaboration.
Collaboration.
That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, so whatever you think.
Oh man.
I know.
Okay. I actually have 2 in my mind.
I love it. I won't make you choose.
Okay. In Back to Life, it's in the 3rd verse, and it says, "How can I begin to thank you for all that you've done for me?" Every time I get to that line in that song, I'm like, oh, it just like hits like a really sweet spot.
Yeah.
And then there's another song that I sang, 2 years ago now. It's from, it's a song called "Run Out of Reasons," but it's in the song. It goes, "I can never run out of reasons to worship you, Lord."
I love it.
And just like, I feel like those 2 capture the heart of like where I sit most times, like with Jesus, like in my own life. And so I would say like those are the 2.
I love that.
Yeah.
It just makes sense because it's like, that's God's character towards us, where he just loves to bless us.
Yes.
And he wants to do good things for us. So when we sit there and we actually acknowledge that that's who he is, it's overwhelming to us.
Yes.
To think about how good he is and like, you can't run out of reasons.
No.
I love
it. Yeah.
That is so cool. Hey, thanks for spending some time with us today.
Oh, it was so fun.